The first thing people usually say when they meet me is, "Wait, what? You're a triplet." And yeah, technically I am. It's Iliana Isaac and Myris Turner. I was born 6 minutes apart in a hospital in Atlanta. The doctor told my mom she was having twins. Then I showed up like a surprise bonus level nobody asked for. Being the youngest triplet means two things. First, you grow up doing everything together. Second, you spend your whole life trying to prove you're not the extra one. Our house was always loud when we were kids, not fighting loud music loud. My mom loved music more than anything. Every morning, she'd blast old soul songs while making pancakes, spinning around the kitchen like she was on stage. By the time we were 8, she'd given us a karaoke machine and accidentally created a monster. Iliana inherited Mom's voice, smooth, powerful, the kind that made teachers stop mid-sentence when she sang at school talent shows. Isaac taught himself guitar by watching YouTube videos for hours, and me. I was the kid who banged on everything: pots, tables, school desks. Eventually, Mom got tired of replacing kitchenware and bought me a cheap drum set. That's how the Turner 3 South started. By freshman year of high school, everyone at school knew us. If there was a football game, a pep rally, a talent show, or literally any excuse for music, someone would shout, "Yo, Turner 3 South, play something." School itself was pretty normal otherwise. Lockers slamming, people rushing through crowded hallways. Someone always blasting music from a phone speaker. One Friday afternoon, I was leaning against my locker texting Isaac. "Iris, you bringing your guitar to the game tonight?"
Isaac.
Obviously, Isaac. "Coach says, if we win, I can skip conditioning tomorrow." I rolled my eyes and typed back, "Iris, must be nice being the favorite child." He responded instantly. "Isaac says the kid who never gets blamed for anything." I smirked. Okay, maybe he had a point. At lunch, we sat at our usual table near the windows. Iliana had her laptop open, typing like her life depended on it. "Please tell me you're not doing homework right now," I said. "It's AP Physics." She replied without looking up. "If I fall behind, my GPA drops." Isaac leaned back in his chair. "You're literally number 1 in the class." Exactly. Sometimes I wondered if Iliana even knew how to relax. After school that day, we practiced in the garage like usual. Isaac strummed chords while I tapped out a rhythm on the drums. Iliana's voice floated over everything like it belonged on the radio. For a moment, it felt perfect. Then life kind of flipped. Mom collapsed one afternoon during our freshman year. One second she was humming in the kitchen. The next she was on the floor. The hospital smell is something you never forget. Doctors said it was a stroke. She would recover, but it would take months. At the same time, Dad lost his job at the music production company he worked for. Some giant lawsuit wiped the company out overnight. Suddenly, the house felt quiet in a way it never had before. Bills piled up. Dad stopped smiling. Mom was stuck in recovery, and somehow our little band became important. Dad started booking small gigs for us: cafés, birthday parties, local restaurants. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid something. Between school, homework, baseball practice for Isaac, and Iliana's endless studying, we were barely holding things together. By junior year, the pressure was starting to crack us. Iliana was obsessed with college applications. Isaac was busy being a baseball star, and me. I wasn't sure who I was supposed to be anymore. The drummer, the youngest triplet, the extra one, and the flyer appeared. A regional teen music competition, first prize $10,000. $10,000 could help Mom's medical bills, could help everything. I practically ran home with the flyer. Isaac was in immediately. Iliana didn't even hesitate. "I can't," she said. "What do you mean you can't?" I asked. "I have exams, scholarships, my 4.0 GPA. This could help, Mom. And college will help our future." The argument got ugly fast. Eventually, she just walked away. So it was just me and Isaac. Backstage at the competition, the nerves hit like a truck. "We're doomed," Isaac muttered while tuning his guitar. "We're not doomed," I said. "We're 2/3 of a band, okay?" Maybe he had a point. That's when the door creaked open. A girl leaned casually against the frame. She had a bright blue afro and a black turtleneck, even though it wasn't even cold. "You guys look like you're about to faint," she said. Isaac blinked. "Who are you, Kat?" "That's it, just Kat." She shrugged. Pretty much I crossed my arms. This area is for performers. Exactly, she said. You need a singer. Isaac laughed. We had one. Past tense noted. I sighed. Can you sing? Of course. Prove it. Kat stepped forward confidently. Then she opened her mouth. The sound that came out was indescribably bad. It's like a cat getting stepped on, which ironically felt appropriate. Isaac covered his face. I stared at the ceiling. Okay, I said carefully. Thank you for your enthusiasm. She grinned, like none of that bothered her. Relax, I'm actually better at drums. Blinked. What? You should sing. I laughed nervously. Yeah, right. I heard you earlier in the hallway, she said. You have a good voice. My stomach flipped. I don't sing, I said. Why not? Because Iliana sings? Kat tilted her head. Maybe that's the problem. 10 minutes later, we walked on stage with a completely different setup. It's Isaac on guitar, Kat behind the drums, and me standing at the microphone with shaking hands. The spotlight blinded me. The crowd waited. Then I remembered Mom's lullaby, the melody she used to hum when we were kids. I started singing. Halfway through the first verse, the nerves disappeared. By the final chorus, the audience was cheering. We didn't win first place, but we got second. $5,000. Backstage, adrenaline still buzzing, I walked down the hallway toward our room and froze. Iliana was standing there. Her arms were folded, her face unreadable. You showed up, I said. She nodded once. Well, congratulations, she said. Something about her tone made my chest tighten. What's wrong? I asked. She took a slow breath. Iris. I'm leaving the band. The words echoed in the empty hallway. For the first time since we were born 6 minutes apart, it felt like the Turner 3 South were really breaking apart. For a second, I honestly thought I'd misheard her. The hallway outside the backstage rooms was loud, people talking, stagehands dragging cables, someone laughing too hard near the vending machines. But Iliana's words still landed like everything else had gone silent. I'm leaving the band. I stared at her. You're joking. She didn't smile. Isaac stepped out of the room behind me. Hey, where'd you? He stopped when he saw her. Oh, nobody spoke for a moment. Iliana shifted her backpack higher on her shoulder, like she was already halfway out the door. I'm serious, she said. I can't keep doing this. Doing what? I snapped. Helping the family? Her jaw tightened. Don't do that, Iris. Do what? Tell the truth. Isaac rubbed his forehead. Guys, can we not do this here? But I was already too angry. You waited until after we performed to say this? I said. Real nice timing. Iliana's voice stayed calm, which somehow made me angrier. Been trying to tell you both for months, she said. I need to focus on school, scholarships, college. I can't spend every weekend at gigs anymore. This band pays the bills, I said. And college will help pay them in the future. So we're just supposed to handle everything now. She looked at me. And for the first time that night, her expression cracked. You're acting like I don't care about this family? Well, it doesn't look like you do. Isaac stepped between us. Okay, time out. Everybody breathe. But Iliana was already shaking her head. I knew this would happen, she said quietly. You'd make me the villain? No one's making you anything, I said. She looked straight at me. You replaced me in 10 minutes tonight. The words hit harder than I expected. That was different, I said. Was it? Behind us, Kat slowly stepped out of the room, clearly realizing she had walked into something awkward. Oh, she said softly. Bad timing? Iliana's eyes flicked toward her, and suddenly the air turned colder. So that's the new lineup, Iliana said. It's not like that, Isaac said quickly. Iliana gave a small, tired smile. It's fine. Really? Then she looked back at me. I hope the band works out for you. And just like that, she walked down the hallway and disappeared into the crowd. I didn't realize I was shaking until Kat gently touched my arm. Hey, she said. I pulled away and sat down on the floor against the wall. Isaac sat beside me. Well, he muttered. That went great. I covered my face with my hands. Oh, she thinks we replaced her. Kat leaned against the wall across from us. People usually think the worst thing when they're hurt, she said quietly. Why are you defending her? I asked. I'm not, Kat said. I'm just... saying the ride home that night was silent. Iliana was already asleep when we got back, or pretending to be. Over the next few weeks, things changed in ways I didn't expect. The Turner 3 South became whatever we were now. Isaac kept playing guitar. Kat stayed on drums. Somehow I became the lead singer. At first it felt weird. It's like wearing someone else's jacket. But the more we practiced, the more natural it felt. Kat and I started hanging out outside practice too. Study sessions at the library. Late night texting. Walking around after football games while everyone else crowded the parking lot. One night after practice, we were sitting on the roof outside my bedroom window. Atlanta's skyline glowed faintly in the distance. Kat was painting her nails dark blue. "You're staring," she said without looking up. "I'm not. You definitely are." I laughed nervously and looked away. She bumped my shoulder. "Relax, Iris. I'm not scary. Debatable." She grinned. "You were amazing tonight, by the way. Thanks. No, seriously. When you hit that last note, goosebumps. My cheeks warmed. You're the one who made me sing, and you're welcome." I nudged her. "You know, you're weirdly confident for someone with the worst audition I've ever heard." She burst out laughing. "Hey, I warned you. Singing is not my thing." The laughter faded after a moment. Then Kat grew quiet. "I used to have a brother," she said suddenly. I blinked. "I thought you were an only child. I am now." The way she said it made my stomach drop. What happened? She reached under her turtleneck and pulled out a small locket. Inside was a picture of a boy about our age. "Austin," she said. "He died when we were kids. Car accident. I'm so sorry." She stared at the picture. The last thing I said to him before he left the house was that life would be better if he didn't exist. The words hung in the air. I didn't mean it," she said quickly. "We were arguing about a stupid video game. I didn't know what to say." Kat closed the locket slowly. "That's why I hate watching you and Iliana fight," she said. Guilt twisted in my chest. "I've been awful to her," I admitted. "Yeah," Kat said gently. I sighed. "But she hates you." Kat shrugged. "Maybe." Weeks passed. Mom slowly got stronger at home. Isaac kept dragging me to gigs. Kat kept texting me dumb memes at midnight. And Iliana barely spoke to me. Then one evening I came home before practice and saw her walking down the hallway with a stack of textbooks. She tried to walk past like usual, but this time I stopped her. "Wait," she hesitated. "Can we talk?" I said quietly. She turned around slowly. Her eyes were red. "I miss you," she said before I could speak. The words knocked the air out of me. "I miss you too." We stood there awkwardly for a moment. "I shouldn't have been mad at you for leaving the band," I said. "If music isn't what you want, it's not," she said. "But it hurt seeing someone take my place so fast. You can't be replaced," I said softly. "You're my sister." She wiped her eyes. "I got jealous," she admitted. "Of Kat. Of everything." "Well," I said, managing a small smile, "you could still come see us play tonight." She hesitated, then finally nodded. Okay, later that night, as we walked on stage for our biggest show yet, I glanced into the crowd. Mom sat in the front row smiling, Dad beside her, Isaac grinned next to me with his guitar. Kat tapped her drumsticks together behind us, standing just behind the crowd barrier. Iliana was watching. For the first time in months, she smiled at me. And suddenly, everything felt like it might actually be okay again.